In this video, we are going over the Wizzer Carnival Ride installation and operation setup. Before leaving the warehouse, you need to make sure the 4 seat covers inside of the box go inside of the cab of the tow vehicle. You also need to make sure the generator, equipment box, and spare tire go inside of the bed of the tow vehicle. They cannot ride on the trailer. Always inspect the small equipment box that should contain the fence panel feet, 1 50-foot extension cord, 1 wrench, 1 adjustable wrench, and a set of wheel chocks. Once at setup location, set up your wheel chocks around your tires on each side, and then disconnect from the tow vehicle and lift the trailer by using the front tongue jack. Go ahead and remove the equipment out of the truck bed that you'll need for the setup. Now you can move the tow vehicle and place it into a safe location. Next, remove and build the fence around the ride in a circle. The fence feet are located inside the gray equipment box. After building the fence, lower the stabilizer jacks on all 4 corners of the ride. To do this, start with the front of the ride by removing the pin and swivel the jack down and replacing the pin. Crank the jacks down to lift the ride. The ride should be lifted to take part of the weight off the tires. However, the tires can remain touching the ground. Repeat the steps for the back 2 side jacks. Adjust any jacks if need be to make sure the ride is level. This is very important for the correct operation of the ride. There is a level mounted to the rear of the ride under the transportation lock to help you out. Now remove the fence racks by loosening the bolt that holds the rack to the frame. Then remove the fence rack and store safely underneath the ride and tighten the bolts back so they won't get lost. Using the wrenches found in the equipment box, remove the top bolt on the rear transport bracket that holds the ride from spinning. This is located behind and under the seats of the ride. You might have to use a hammer to get this bolt out. Reinstall the bolt and nut inside of the transportation lock that is flipped out for safekeeping. Now remove the bolt and nut from the front transportation lock, only the top one. This bar is used as the locking pin for offloading and onloading riders. The bolt and nut will go back inside of the storage box for safekeeping. Now you can store your equipment box under the ride. We are ready to install each seat cover on all 4 seats. Make sure the seat belts go through the seat covers properly and the seat covers clip in to the seat properly. Now we need to set up the small generator and run an extension cords to the light power plug that is located at the front driver's side of the trailer. last thing we need to inspect before we are done setting up is making sure our sweep arm is far enough from all the fence panels to make sure no one can hit the ride while in operation. For staffing the Wizzer Carnival ride, you will first let in up to 4 participants at one time. Try to evenly distribute the weight amongst the ride to allow correct operation. It is the staffer's job to ensure that the riders use the seat belts and are fastened tightly in each chair. When the riders are aboard and you have checked the seat belts are buckled and tightened properly, remove the transport lock so they can start to spin themselves. The ride spins by riders pushing and pulling the bar in front of them. The faster they push/pull, the faster the ride will go. If the riders are going too fast, gently pull on the brake handle to slow them down. At the end of the ride, tell the participants to put their hands in the air and slowly use the brake lever to slow the ride to a stop. Do not allow anyone to try to push the handles against the brake while slowing down the ride. Once the ride has fully stopped, flip up the transportation lock and allow the participants off the ride. Repeat these steps throughout the event. Things to remember when staffing Wizzer Carnival ride. The max weight limit is 200 pounds. The minimum height requirement is 48 inches tall. Riders should remove all items out of their pockets before riding. Riders can't have loose or baggy clothing that can get pinched or flung off, such as floppy hats, sunglasses, or unzipped jackets. The most important thing to remember while staffing is that when one rider wants off the ride must stop. We are not going to torture anyone who wants to stop or get off the ride. While taking down Wizzer Carnival ride, the first step is to secure and tighten the sweep arm assembly using the front and back transportation locks by installing the bolt and nuts back in. You will do this on both the front and back side transportation bars. On the back side, you might have to fidget with it and use a hammer to install the bolt back in. After the ride is locked in place, now you can take the 4 seat covers off and store them in the protective box that will go in the cab of the tow vehicle. Make sure the seat belts are attached and strapped down so they don't fling around while on the highway. Your next step is you're going to reinsert the fence racks. Tighten the bolts down on all arms to ensure that they are secure. Reinsert the fence racks with the 2 protective padding arms on the front of the trailer. Now lower the ride with all 4 stabilizing jacks and swivel the jacks to the transportation setting. Once all 4 jacks are in the transportation position, load and strap the fence onto the fence racks while also placing all fence panel feet into the equipment box. Next, roll up the 50-foot cord and store it inside the equipment box. Now you are ready to hook up the ride back to the tow vehicle. Remember to load the spare tire, generator, and equipment box into the bed of the tow vehicle. The seat cover box needs to ride inside of the vehicle while transporting.